Told you it's gonna get worse before it gets better. We on lock, man. I don't. I'm just gonna say it, and I'm gonna say it, and this is specifically for my peoples. Some of you, not all of you, some of you motherfuckers are scared. I mean, scary. I'm listening to Sharon's live, and I just hear nothing but babble, just nothing but scared little, just scared for no reason. And we've been through these things before. The only thing is, this it wasn't. We weren't under some mag dictatorship shit, and we scared of some damn ICE agents. If there was a gathering, if we were together, then we were apart, this wouldn't even be an issue. What's the worst that they can do? They can't kill us all. That would be a war. That would be a war crime within American soil, and then Trump would really be in trouble. What was all that stuff that happened a couple of months ago when seven what damn near 7 million of you were on the street? No king shit. Whatever happened to that? Whatever happened to the no king shit? I would have done the exact same shit, except I would have been in Washington. And now just imagine if all those people in Washington and people traveling from New Jersey, New Hampshire, uh, Wilmington, New York, just coming into Washington and marching down there and letting Trump know we ain't playing your bullshit anymore. We are not in fear of you, because that's all this shit is. And it's saying about illegal immigrants, because if it was about illegal immigrants, he would have they would have let lady go. And then um I'm about to play it in a minute, but this was tragic. I'm not, and don't get me, don't take this the wrong way. I am not so concerned about Jasmine and what she had to deal with yesterday. I'm saying that she now knows, or she been knows, how tough this shit is, and what possibly maybe in the back of her mind what she really needs to do, especially for her people. It's not just about what she needs to do with blacks or Asians, whites, and shit like that. What specifically she needs to do for black people. Because I'm telling you right now, if the roles were reversed and there was a black lady in that car, which I'm gonna talk about thing, the incident that happened in Minnesota, by the way, and one of the other reasons why that lady got murdered or executed. And I'll tell you that in a minute. She knows specifically, if that was a black lady, if that was a black woman with 3 kids, oh, there would have been on an uproar. I'm not talking about protesting and all this other stuff. I'm not talking about that. There would have been bloodshed. Because we're not taking this shit no more. But since it was a white lady who possibly maybe had mixed kids, because for some odd strange reason, they're calling her a race traitor. I don't know who said that. Well, Trump's, of course, Trump tweeted about it, and he's basically saying, this, and the other, the other lady from Minnesota, I forgot what her name was, but they're basically calling her a race traitor, and how it sounded was based on how it just basically sounded. And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell does it matter if she had she was with somebody else, or a black man, or possibly a Mexican, or whoever? She has mixed kids. Who cares? Why is she considered a race traitor? I gotta I gotta look for that thing. I'll look for that thing in a minute. But to Jasmine and her crying, it's like I feel for the sister, but at the same damn time, she knows what she needs to do, and if she hasn't figured it out by now, I don't know what we can do other than for her to get in office. But like I said, if the roles were reversed, and the black woman was in that seat, and she got shot center mass in the head, all because she wanted to go go with the rest of her day, like I said, there would have been an uproar. But they are more worried. But this is how sick white folks are. This is how truly sick white folks are. This is how sick white folks are. They are more interested in how Jasmine conducts herself, right? They are more interested in how she conducts herself, in how she uses her words, because she dropped one F bomb versus the uh, concern, the concernment of our citizens in the U.S. They are way more concerned in how she conducts her words, how she, um, basically how she speaks. I mean, she's already known for being ghetto and hood and all this other type of stupid shit, but um, mainly they want her to act after all this chaos done happened. After all that done went down, they expect her to be cooperative, uh, 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 a quiet, um, a delicate human being, not disruptive, not ratchet, not street, not this, not that. And I just said, well, if that's the case, then why in a world like this, in a logical world like this, why are we not holding the president accountable for the words that comes out of his mouth, or what he tweets every single day? But then again, we're in a world of politics. We are in the world of politics. It's a damn shame. It is a damn shame.
The gentlelady from Texas is recognized to strike the last word.
Yes, Mr. Chad asked to strike the last words.
Gentlelady is recognized.
Thank you so much. It is so hard to sit here sometimes because I didn't come to Congress to write laws or to do things that are hurting people. I'm just asking if there's any decency or heart or courage on that side of the aisle. The fact that a woman was killed, she was shot in her head, and y'all are pretending like nothing happened. I remember when Charlie Kirk got killed. Do you remember what our response was? Our response wasn't to sit there and pretend like it was okay. Is it okay because you have a badge? Because the last time I checked, allegedly no one is above the law. Can y'all not just have a little bit of courage and humanity? A child. The child has lost her mom. And y'all want to pretend that it is okay. I am asking if there is anyone that will stand for the very people that elected us and sent us to Congress. You tell us things like, well, the immigrants are bad, and so we got to get all these bills because the immigrants are the ones that are causing the harm, they're bringing the crime. The mayor of Minneapolis told y'all to get the fuck out. Yeah, y'all are the ones. It is this administration that is bringing crime to the streets. That's what's happening.
It's the third incident where somebody has dropped an F-bomb in this committee, including the video.
I'm sorry.
Including the video
Are
that we had to watch
Are
earlier.
your princess ears okay?
Is it profanity?
The committee's
House of Representatives.
The committee.
About the fact that a woman
Are you
The
soft?
House of Representatives.
The gentlelady.
Are we offending your princess ears? Are they that soft?
All members
Well,
will.
maybe some of the kids out there.
Mr. Chairman, it is the gentleman.
We're killing them.
Kids.
It is the gentlelady's time. Let's let her have her time.
It is the gentlelady's time. Would you stop the clock for a moment? Okay, and
That was the quote.
I'll restore that. The chair will remind all members that the person controlling the time is not to be unreasonably interrupted. We would further admonish that whenever possible to express the full meaning of something, it be done so without an expletive that may be offensive to people here in the audience or those who watch this on television. I understand that a quote at times is essential, but I would admonish everyone that it has been the practice of this committee for the many years I've been here to use such things as F-bomb in order to get the message out without actually using the word. Notwithstanding that, the gentlelady will be recognized for this time plus an additional 20 seconds. The gentlelady may continue.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Long story short, we are sitting in judiciary and no one on that side of the aisle seems to care that this particular person, whose name we don't know at this point, became the judge, jury, and executioner. I don't know how you square that. And then we're sitting here literally in markup for a bail funds bill. When I first ran for office, it was in the midst of yet another lynching by law enforcement in Minneapolis. At that time, it was George Floyd. I remember working as a pro bono criminal defense attorney to help protesters that were being arrested. There were more than 600 protesters that were arrested in Dallas. There were churches that came together to make sure that there were bail funds. There were nonprofit organizations, and to explain how it works for bail, since we're in judiciary and we're writing the laws, and some people may not understand this, But those bail funds, those nonprofit organizations are not the ones that determine whether or not somebody gets bail. What they do is they help out poor people, which I know y'all are not interested in either. But they help out people that aren't rich and famous and have limitless amounts of money, like all of the Epstein defendants who somehow y'all can't find, even though y'all went and got Maduro. But it helps out those people to be able to get out of jail. Many of those people that if they spend just a couple of days in jail will then be thrust into straight up poverty because they will lose everything.
I'm just gonna pause it there for a second. And go on a little small tangent of what the title, what I put in the title and what this should mean. First, I feel for the victims of the Minnesotians of what happened. It shouldn't have happened that way, but apparently white America, as it may, doesn't really care about shit like this. I'm telling you, it's the face of who they put in front to lead the United States of America. And he is basically screwing everybody except for the people who put him in there. If you don't think that this type of shit would happen in Minnesota can happen to you if they were in position. Now, I'm not saying that, this is not a black and white thing. Technically it is, but I can see a black woman being in that same seat, being frightened for her life after the guy got out of his truck. Both of them got out of their trucks and rushed over to open her car door forcefully. And all she wanted to do was leave. One officer told her to leave, and the other two just told her to get out the car. You know how do I know they didn't know that they were doing? Because when the ambulance came, the roads were blocked. So there was no other way they could clearly get to this crime scene and drag her body. They literally had to drag her body from one end to another, and it's supposed to be direct. I'm just saying, just put yourself in that woman's position. Talking about the guy got hit. The guy didn't get that. Fuck him. That officer didn't get hit. If he got hit, how come he hauled his little white ass onto the car and onto the truck and they both left? He was certainly hauling ass if he's allegedly got hurt that bad. I don't care what happened to that cop 6 months ago. What does it have to do of today? JD Vance just talking shit as usual. That was an officer that got hurt 6 months ago, and he got dragged and blah 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 blah, and whatever. Fact of the matter is, going back to Jasmine real fast, she needs to be protected. I mean, can we all agree? She really needs to be protected. Because what if there was a situation where she had to deal with ICE? Who would have guts enough if she was in whatever part of Texas that she was in, or if she was in Washington and that's on one of her offices? Would any of you have the guts enough to protect the queen would anybody or any people among you have the guts to protect her until that's enough is enough? I mean, you already been blasted out there by pepper spray. You're blasted right direct in the face. This is nothing new under the sun. You're going to be blasted by pepper spray, or you're going to be hit with bean bags. There is no lawful way if 400,000 of us got together and marched for freedom and justice. But then again, that's what you find, just us. I don't know if what happened yesterday really woke you guys up, or you're just telling yourself this is nothing new, or you're just tired, or you just don't really care because it doesn't concern me, or you one of those ones that was like, she broke the law, blah blah blah, she shouldn't have complied. It's like, that's just the world that we live in. That is just the world that we live in. Okay, sir. What type of freedom? What type of freedom do blacks have in this country? What type of freedom? The freedom to get lynched? Is that the type of freedom you talk about? The freedom to get mollywopped and framed by ICE agents? What type of freedom do we have? The type of freedom that every time we go to college, all the goalposts are being moved because you would prefer people who are a little light on the color surface. Is that the type of freedom that you're talking about? Freedom. You have to be dumb to be free. That's why they call it freedom. If you have freedom, where's your 40 acres and a mule? If you have freedom, where's your reparations? If you have freedom, where your industry, where your distributions, where your industries, where your hospitals, where your grocery stores, where are all your healthy foods, especially for your babies? Where are they? That is crazy work. And if you had the freedom, they wouldn't be shooting your crazy asses out there on the street. Where's your freedom? People get dumber by the minute.
Why it is that you want to criminalize people such as churches that are trying to help the poor because they understand what the Bible says, and they don't just say that they understand it or say that they love Jesus, but they decide that they actually put it into works because faith without works is dead. That is wrong too. And I'm here to tell you that there's going to be a lot of nonprofit organizations that are going to step up in this moment, because there are going to be protests around this entire country because of the state-sanctioned execution that we all saw unfold, unless there is some kind of justice that takes place and we get the name of that officer and that officer is prosecuted. So I ask that law enforcement, we have oversight over them. I am the oversight ranker. Let's go ahead. In fact, I make a motion that we have a hearing in the oversight subcommittee as it relates to this particular issue and what took place.
Well, I'm here to tell you they might have a problem with this, but because of this era that we are in, because of the Trump regime, because of the administration, because I believe this is going to be tried in a federal court. He is going to go off scot-free, and there's nothing that they can do about it. There's nothing new under the sun. I hope he gets prosecuted to the full extent of the law, but they're not because of under this administration. They are not going to convict him. I don't care how hard you try. It'll be better if what happened, I forgot where. I'm second guessing this is in Maine or Maryland, where the guy's son, the black guy's son, got murdered by a cop, and the very next day he went to run his ass over. That is your only option. Is to run an ICE agent over, but that's even far-fetched. That's the only way you're gonna win. That is the only way you're going to win. You try him in the court of law, whether it be on the lower court, the circuit court, Supreme Court, federal court, doesn't matter. He's going scot-free. Because under this regime, under the Trump administration, the United States is now under new Jim Crow law. Say it is, say it isn't, it is. Otherwise, why would you be deporting somebody who is legal in the United States to a country that they don't even know about? They just want you gone by any means, which is quite crazy, by the way.
Dishes.
Don't.
What am I going to do?
But this one's funny.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to go back to a previous statement by Governor Biggs. He said that Democrats have not tried to de-escalate the situation. You know, after the brutal murder of Charlie Kirk, which was domestic terrorism, okay, we tried. After the assassination attempt against the president, which was domestic terrorism, I was appointed to the task force to investigate that assassination attempt. We tried to de-escalate. After the anti-Semitic attack in Colorado, in which you put forward a resolution that included language about ISIS playing a role in that. 75 Democrats voted for that resolution, even though there was no reason to put that in there, but we did it on the board. So this idea that that the Democrats have said nothing, that we haven't tried to de-escalate, it's just not true. It's just not true. Now, it's not like you guys have any credibility on de-escalation. I mean, literally, we're not the ones that told tens of thousands of people to show up into the Capitol and run in here like a mob, and now you all tell people it never happened. You know, although that's not what the deal was. It's not like every day there isn't some sort of tweet that just escalates and escalates and escalates. And so, listen, on de-escalation. I would love to participate in a hearing on how we together de-escalate looking at one party and saying, you don't de-escalate, I mean, that's literally escalation. We can't have a serious dialogue on how we do bring down the temperature together.
Can you agree?
You know, I want to, we heard about this domestic terrorism thing, right? Domestic terrorism. That was the first thing we heard. I have a question. This is the person. This is the person who, within minutes of the shooting, went on TV and called it domestic terrorism. What is she hiding her face like her ICE agents now? She can't show her face either. By the way, is this what the $800 billion went to? Every day we see her after there's some new tragedy in Homeland, she's wearing a different outfit with a different hat. I mean, come on, guys. She looks ridiculous. She's not just an embarrassment to the country. She's an embarrassment to you and the president. Okay? She deserves to be removed from her job by the president, and if not impeached. Not just for her complete failures in Homeland, but her destruction of FEMA. She's not even running the department. You guys know this. You guys know she's not running Homeland. Your governors and you all, when you need your FEMA money, you don't call Noam, you call Corey. You know she's not running the place. She's a complete and utter embarrassment. By the way, every Homeland Secretary has come in front of this committee once of Congress. I'd like to know the date she's coming. When is she coming? When is she coming? By the way, you know Pam Bondi has not come in front of this committee. You know she's the only secretary to not appear in front of a committee yet. When is she coming? What's the date on the calendar that she's coming? You know what? Let's make it easy. I want to make a motion to subpoena Pam Bondi.
Second.
How much are we going to...
The gentleman is not recognized for that motion. However, the chair will advise as to the Attorney General coming first as they routine.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. But where is the Attorney General, the only secretary to not appear, okay, in front of a committee? The only one. We're into year 2 of this Congress, and we've not had the Attorney General in front of this committee. How much are we going to weaken Article 1 of the Constitution while you guys remain in power? I watch you twist this up into pretzels, trying to defend it, running away from previous statements, disagreeing with yourself, trying to defend the crap that's happening. And so I'll make a motion again to subpoena Pam Bondi in front of this committee.
Have fun. Have fun. All Donald Trump's going to do is just try to block it, or try to do. He's going to try to do something. Apparently, he's going to do something. I pray for Jasmine's safety. I pray for her health. I pray she gets through this, man. She's going to get through it. And she's going to keep the ball rolling. But, as I said before, this is not about black and white. But put yourself in that woman's position. Put yourself in that seat. And you're just going about your daily life, not knowing that day that you are going to get shot in your head and in your face. Send a mass. And then extends his arm into the car for her to get shot. This was well, whatever happened to protect and serve? That's what I want to know. Whatever happened to protect and serve under the Constitution of the law? Whatever happened to that shit? I guess there's no such thing as protection under the law when it under Trump. There ain't no protection. Like I said, we got too many stupid people. Because I kind of I already figured out what this is. This is basically white folks who damn near figured, well, we've been ignored this long. We finally have somebody who has our best interests, and we can do and say anything the fuck we want. White folks fear, and I'm saying this, and I'm saying not to scare most white folks, because not everybody white agrees with what Donald Trump is doing. But there are those white folks who are so scared. And I don't know why they're scared under Biden, because Biden is just as, in my opinion, is just as worse. But apparently, white folks feel that under his regime, under his administration, while flying and floating other immigrants into the country, that they were going to just up and disappear. Just up and disappear, because you are a dying breed. You know you're a dying breed. There ain't no question of it. Science says it all. But if this is not the case, then why do people keep repeating themselves when they say this woman is a race traitor? This woman is a race traitor. She is a protester. What was she protesting? Exactly. What exactly? Point to me exactly what was this woman protesting? All she was is just backing out of her driveway and going about her daily life. That's insane. That is insane. Yeah, scientifically you're dying off because you can't reproduce. You can't reproduce any other color but yourself. Any other race, excuse me, not color, but race other than yourselves. It's quite odd. And then, of course, you can't use certain words. You can't use certain words. You can't say certain things without getting your ass whooped. But now under the Trump regime, where Trump is all the way racist, all the way prejudiced, all the way extreme, you figure we got a shot. We got a shot to end all that oppose us. You just forgot one thing and one thing only. that white sheet that you love wearing so much. You don't have to wear, well, you're still wearing, you're not wearing sheets, you're wearing these particular cloths. Quite interesting. And because you have the Supreme Courts, you basically have everything on lockdown, and you have immunity, you cannot be touched. And because you blame, and okay, this happens every 4 years where you blame everything on Democrats, everything on Republicans, everything on Democrats. This is something different. This is far more different than any other Republican, Democratic, political genre I ever witnessed. This is some Saddam Hussein shit. This is some Saddam Hussein shit. Because you're attacking other countries for whatever crazy reason other than oil, which Donald Trump, Donald Trump says, I can give him this, I can give him credit for this. At least when he says it, he says it. He doesn't sugarcoat it like George Bush did and Colin Powell did. He says it outright. I will give him that. But because of this bullshit, him going after Nigeria, Venezuela, and talking about owning Greenland, this is some dictatorship. This is some dictatorship, and he can do it. And as far as I'm concerned, who can stop him other than somebody holding him accountable, which I know Supreme Courts, Senates can hold presidents accountable. That's what something that somebody told you. The real video, and I can't pull it up. I somehow TikTok, I gotta download TikTok on here. But the real Venezuelans want their dude back. The real Venezuelans want their dude back. That's right. The real Venezuelans want their ambassador back, or their president, or whoever. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I'm not gonna sway it. No, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna sway it. It's the same thing. It's the same shit that happened in Cuba when when everybody was complaining about Fidel Castro. The people in Cuba love Fidel Castro. There are white Cubans and there are black Cubans. If you don't think there are white Cubans and black Cubans, you're insane. You're fucking insane. And if that's not the case, then how come they were going at Colin Kaepernick the way that they did? Just saying. Just saying. Let me see. I don't think I can get it on here. Oh, I can. Oh, never mind. No, that's TV. That is TV. Let me see. I should have had it downloaded. Tick. Next. Nah, because I don't even like putting plain TikTok on whatever it was in. Nope. Because it would have picked up by then. Nope. It means I had to go all the way upstairs to get my laptop, and I don't want to do it. Maybe I'll go live and I'll just review it.
Justice and this presidential administration has already come to a conclusion about those facts is deeply concerning. The facts that from the very beginning they're calling the victim a domestic terrorist, they're calling the actions of the agent involved as some form of defensive posture. We know that they've already determined much of the investigation, and even if they haven't, there is the appearance that there is some conclusion drawn from the very beginning. If not hide from the facts, why not embrace them? If it's not a problem to have additional people at the table that have a deep commitment to the process and transparency and have run these investigations before, then why not include them in the process? The Bureau of Criminal Apprehension at the state of Minnesota has consistently run these investigations before. They have done so without bias. They've done so with a great deal of expertise. This is not some radical, way out there group. This is a group that is formed by experts who understand how to investigate. Many of them have been police officers themselves. So our ask is really simple here. Our ask is to embrace the truth. Our ask is to include the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension in this process because we in Minneapolis want a fair investigation. Is it deeply concerning that this administration from the very get-go is drawing the conclusion that they may ultimately come to? Of course it is. And if you got nothing to hide from, then don't hide from it. Include local experts in the process. We got nothing to hide from here. All we want in Minneapolis is justice and the truth. And speaking of the truth, let me give you another one. I have heard countless people talk about Minneapolis, many of them who have never been here, as some form of post-apocalyptic hellscape, as a place that is dangerous. Well, let me give you a statistic. 50% of the shootings that have happened thus far in Minneapolis this year have been ICE. In other words, we've only had 2 shootings. One of them has been ICE. We are a safe city. ICE is making it less so. We are a city of unity, but ICE is trying to divide us and tear us apart. For every one of the people that you see standing here behind me, they have more than 1,000 people behind them. They have people that are committed to their neighbors, committed to integrity, committed to justice, and committed to getting the truth. We will not back down from it. Among those that won't back down from it is the person who I'm about to introduce. His ward is right on the borderline of where this particular shooting happened, and that is Councilmember Jason Chavez. Would you please give him a warm round of applause?
Good morning, my name is Jason Chavez, and I have the privilege of representing Ward 9 on the Minneapolis City Council, where ICE murdered Renee Good. I want to let you all know that our entire community is mourning because of the inhumane tactics of ICE separating our families, forcing people back into the shadows, and the pure brutality by immigration's customs enforcement.
It's racism, prejudice, whatever isms you can come up with. It is what it is. The new Jim Crow era. Be comfortable in it. Swim in it. Bask in it. You'll get tired. And then you wanna come to us, and then you wanna collaborate. If only you let that George Floyd act go, this would have probably never would have happened.
The videos that we have all seen, yourself included, does not match the false narrative from the federal government. In fact, you can hear the words, "I am pulling out," moments before ICE decided to take the life of Renee Good. She was a mother, a wife, and a beloved community member, not a domestic terrorist. I'm calling on Trump's FBI to allow Minnesota BCA to have access to all the information so an independent investigation can occur. It is important and critical to our community to have a sense of trust in this process by having an independent investigation to present to the county attorney so that adequate charges can be made. But most importantly, I'm here on behalf of my entire community, echoing the calls to arrest, to prosecute and fire this ICE agent who murdered Renee Good, and to hold those accountable complicit in this crime. What has descended upon Minneapolis and in this state is not the American dream. It is not what the American dream is about. Our immigrant neighbors are here to work. They're here to provide for their family and to achieve prosperity. Instead, what we are seeing in Minneapolis and across the state is ICE kidnapping our family, following folks driving to work and kidnapping them, following people as they're heading to school or to the daycare, picking up our immigrant neighbors from bus stops. While neighbors are struggling to afford groceries, they're picking them there as well. I've personally been on the streets since this first happened, and I've seen too many ICE agents kidnap our neighbors from their cars. And to that, we're always going to condemn it. And as we continue to ask for justice for Renee Good, we're going to ask our community members to stay on alert. As a proud son of Mexican immigrants, I ask Minneapolis and Minnesota to rise up, to do everything in their power to defend our immigrant neighbors, to continue to observe the illegal actions by ICE, to blow your whistle when you see immigration enforcement in your neighborhood, to get trained on rapid response so you can educate your neighbors on what is happening on your block, to provide rides to your immigrant neighbors who need to go to work, who need to get groceries, who need to see their children come back home safely, to help your immigrant neighbors move their cars during snow emergencies, because what we are seeing is many of our immigrant neighbors being picked up simply by moving their cars. To help your neighbors take out the trash, because there are many reports of neighbors being kidnapped while they are taking their trash out. To support our immigrant-owned businesses, to drop off groceries to our children, mothers, fathers, our community members that are starving, and to let know that ICE is not welcome in this city and in this state. And lastly, we're here to demand justice for Renee Good.
Wow. Well, I'll just say this. I hope you guys learned your lesson. I hope you learned your lesson, because apparently it's not kidnapping, it's arrest. It's kidnapping. But in a world like this, where people don't care about, in my world that I live in, people don't care about black people. I honestly have to say this is what we call the nigger wake up call. For some of them, not all of them, but for some of them. And let this be a lesson. When people forewarn you, do not vote in Donald Trump. Do not vote for Donald Trump. Do not vote for Donald Trump. And you do it anyway. Now you want to make songs about him. Donald Trump. Let this be a lesson. Let this be a lesson. You'll vote Jasmine Crockett in now, won't you? Of course you would. I got too many maggots in my chat. I got way too many maggots in my chat. Barb, if you would rain down hellfire and brimstone for those who are being way too disrespectful, for those who are just being just plain ignorant. Just rain down brimstone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And when your boy gets impeached, he will get impeached. I will be there. The video will go viral. And I'm going to laugh my ass off. I'm going to laugh. But it has to be done right. There's, according to a source of mine, when it comes to those Democratic seats, there's only 2 that are left. And if those seats out of 19 seats, once those seats are taken, hopefully Jasmine is in one of those seats, and that is the Senate seat. Trump's gone. Trump is gone. And y'all little white little racist asses ain't got all y'all gonna do is complain. Y'all acting like a bunch of whiny little baby bitches. Ain't nothing new under the sun. When I go to Lansing, Michigan, and you're at the Capitol protesting, it's like this used to be a white nation. Why don't you and Nick Fuentes go to Iceland or something? I don't know. What I'm being sincere. Why don't y'all white folk, you and Nick Fuentes, just go to Iceland or something and make babies? Okay? Make as many white babies as you want. Just make as many white babies as you want. Because you're used to using and abusing your own people quite often. And the incest, it's got to stop. What am I complaining about? Please let it continue, because y'all are the only ones that are doing it. Y'all are the only ones that are doing it. So let the incest roll in. You remember how Trump is always talking about, or used to talk about his daughter a lot in an inappropriate manner? Well, hey, and y'all don't give a shit about who getting raped or not. You didn't give a shit about Eugene Carroll, who he raped years ago. I can't wait for it to get so bad. Go, Jasmine, go. What can we do, fam? what can we do to support Jasmine Heavy? What can we do to support Jasmine? I want like the FBA of the Jasmine Crockett. I want what can we do to support Jasmine Crockett and put her in that seat? Oh, poor thing. Oh, poor sister girl. Oh, poor sister girl. We riding for you. We are riding for you. She didn't have to go through all that. But it's her job. It is her job. So let's see if there's any other thing left. Let's see.
More details are emerging about Renee Good, the mother of 3, the award-winning poet who was shot and killed in her car by a federal immigrant.
Wait a minute. 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 This is an American citizen. Hold the phone. Hold on. She looks totally American to me. Why were y'all calling her? Why were y'all calling her immigrant? Or was I hearing that wrong? Why were you calling her? No, y'all were calling her a race traitor. Why? She looked all the way white. And you shot her in the face 3 times? Ugh. I know we're not safe. But in all due respect, I do feel sorry for the family. I do feel sorry for the family. She left a legacy of 3 kids behind. So I do feel sorry. And why were people asking for the ad? I have to play this. And if I get struck, I get struck. So, but I listen to him a lot, and the people on who he debates, who Dean debates, that he does nothing but debate Trump supporters. It's just ridiculous. It's just plain flat out ridiculous. But then I'm so glad to be in this position. I am so glad to be in this position. Why is it not showing up? Maybe I went too far out. I feel so sorry. Oh, here it is. Here it is.
I don't support this. It's just that I don't think this is enough of a run.
Pulling out of her driveway and was in the middle of the road. An American woman, an American citizen. She then tried to wave the ICE agents to go around her car. In the process, she tried to back up. The ICE agents then tried to, then stop their car, got out of their car, walked up to her car, and were asking her to get out, in which she then tried to leave. While she was leaving the scene, one of the ICE agents pulled out their DHS registered firearm and shot her 3 times in the head while they were in no position of a threat. The car was not angled towards them or heading towards them. They weren't in a position of imminent bodily harm. In fact, the ICE agent that shot her 3 times in the head and executed her in broad daylight was standing off to the side of her vehicle with the vehicle's tires pointing away from her. And then after she was murdered, the car then continued to roll in the opposite direction of the ICE agents until it hit a pole and stopped moving. That's not all. There was a doctor on scene. The ICE agents refused to let the doctor see the woman. That's also not all. 15 minutes later, when an ambulance showed up, that ambulance was blocked by the agents' vehicles. And that's also not all, because after we've seen this all unfold, and by the way, the video is circulating the internet, Donald Trump and the Department of Homeland Security then put out a statement saying that that woman was a radical, violent, hateful leftist, and that it seemed to be self-defense on behalf of the ICE agent. That
Why is she a radical? This is what Trump likes to do when this is what usually Trump's like to do when people don't like him, he don't like them back. That's how gangster he is. That's how gangster he is. When you put your own attorney in jail, that says a lot. When you can bypass the Congress, that's gangster for you. It's too bad it's only going to come to an end real soon.
is false, and I can prove it. As you can tell, her vehicle was pointed away from the agent, leaving the scene. He was standing to the side of the vehicle, pulled out his gun, and shot her in the head. He was in no position of imminent bodily harm whatsoever. This is disgusting. This is disgraceful. This is mad. The Trump administration is asking you to deny the evidence of your eyes and ears. What we're seeing today is a propaganda machine unlike no other. They're asking you to deny your eyes that you could use to watch the video, acknowledge that the officer that shot her 3 times in the face was standing off to the side of that screen, asking you to deny your ears of listening to the video and hearing the screams and the chants of murder from the bystanders immediately following this daylight execution.
We're just gonna go jump to these maggots that he likes to debate. I just want you to listen to their explanation. It's the same old back and forth. But it's just like I said. Trump's time is near. And on the condition that he's in right now, health-wise, ain't looking good for your boy. You may be king in your mind when it comes to the United States of America, but there's only one God. And God does not like ugly. Let me continue.
This murder of a citizen, that they should get their social media privileges taken away.
Should they be in office? Can we just all agree? This is a question primarily to the guests on the live, but also a question to everyone watching, to every single person watching. Can we agree that if a president defends the broad daylight execution of a citizen under the guise that that citizen who was executed is a member of the radical left, a member of the political opposition to the party in which he represents, fueled by hatred and violence, just to bend the knee to the executor by saying that I'm surprised they're alive and we need to support them, that they should not be in office? Can we agree? It looks like I can agree with every single person in my chat, nearly every single person on my YouTube stream. Now, can you agree, guys?
I cannot agree.
That is the problem with America. This is why history is bound to repeat itself. This is how dictators become popular. This is how violent regimes become the core governance of any country. And it's because, for whatever reason, people like you will sit here and tell us all that you don't care if our president defends the broad daylight murder and execution of one of our own citizens under the guise of the fact that the person who was executed is a member of the political opposition. You say, I still want them in that office. Sir, you are preying on the downfall of America. You are advocating for the worst interests of us all. And the fact that this is still an action that you support makes you a terrible Christian You should turn around and repent to God at once.
I don't support this. It's just that I don't think this is enough of a red line. So
It's never enough of a red line. Pardoning the 174 people that tried to kill cops on the steps of our Capitol and labeled them as patriots wasn't enough of a red line. Having a court determine that he killed a woman wasn't enough of a red line. Defying Congress and breaking federal law 5 times by not releasing the totality of the Epstein files and then illegally evading an explanation for the illegal redactions that he made wasn't a red line. Tell me, what would be a red line? Give me an example of a red line that you would hold against Trump. Because as it stands, I don't think you have any.
Under federal law, you cannot attack any law enforcement officers in any way, shape, or form. Okay? You cannot attack them. That is a federal crime. And these federal law enforcement officers, if you watch the video, there was one of them that walked up to the door and was trying to open up the door of the lady that was there. She had hit coming up to where she was at.
Ooh, that's some good bacon. It's nice to have a black wife. Get it? Nice to have a black wife.
And they tried to detain her. She tried to drive off, which is a federal crime when they were detaining her. That is a federal crime. She drove off in towards that officer. The officer had every right to defend themselves. Every right. Now, I will say I feel bad for the family who lost their family member. I will say that. And I'm sorry that they lost their family member. But you do not have the right to attack law enforcement. It is a federal crime. And here's the other thing, too. They're not called undocumented immigrants. They're called illegal immigrants under the law. And ICE is Immigration Customs Enforcement. Their job is to enforce the Immigration and Nationalization Act and Title VIII. And if you people...
No, what they're there to do is cause terror and disruption amongst the United States of America.
Who don't like ICE, you don't go out there and attack them. Because if you watch the video after the cops were cleaning up all the stuff and leaving, the people that were around there were attacking them. George?
Yeah, after the lady got shot. And did we not forget the video how the dude raised his I think it was like some type of gun at the black guy and shot directly at his face. If that was a bullet, his face would have been torn completely off. But unfortunately for the young man, that was just pepper spray. That was just pepper spray. Oh, the George Floyd riots. Oh, bless your heart. Let me put my knee on your neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Stupid.
Snowballs at them, which is a federal crime. Taking their vehicles, which is a federal crime. You do not have the right nor the authority to do that. Under the Constitution, you have the right to peacefully assemble. You do not have the right to attack law enforcement. That is a federal crime. And they will and have every right to defend themselves. If you're stupid enough to attack law enforcement, they will defend themselves. They have every right.
Is Donald Trump defending the bold-faced daylight execution of an American citizen or not?
he is defending what was what Christian stated, someone who was going to use a vehicle to strike an officer. So that was a form of domestic terrorism.
That can't be possibly true. That can't be possibly true. Here is a still frame screenshot from the moment the ICE agent fired his first shot. That vehicle Is it heading towards the officer to strike him? Or is it heading away from the officer to flee?
Dean, I hate to say that you're not going to like my answers and you're just going to automatically call me troll. If I'm being honest, it's because she still would have drove off being irrational, emotional.
Oh,
so maybe
yeah. You are a despicable piece of shit. You are bottom of the barrel. In fact, you are so despicable that I'm not even going to waste my energy on telling you how just despicable you are. And I'm going to kick you from the live.
I can't really find that, honestly. I really have nothing to say on that, apart from, not that I don't say I don't support the president, but I 100% don't support that, and I definitely have now questions. Not that I didn't have questions before, but I have more questions now about his character than ever before.
This is just pathetic. We need a change. We need a change, and we need a change immediately. Put Jasmine in that. All my friends. Oh, I'm gonna ask all my supporters. We're gonna have to do something to get this woman in office immediately. And did I forget to tell you that I am going to be voting for Kamala Harris? I did say that, didn't I? I am going to be voting for Kamala Harris in 3 years' time. If she still wants to run, I'm not going to be voting for anybody else. Not going to be voting for Gavin Newsom. That ain't going to happen. That ain't happening, Captain. That ain't happening, Captain. Because I don't know enough about Newsom, and I've heard some little telltale things about Gavin Newsom. So I already know about Kamala Harris. I already know about Kamala Harris to know. I already know. So we push Jasmine. Jasmine's going to be in that Senate seat. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about it. Jasmine's going to be in that Senate seat, and that's going to be that. Because she is the only person that Donald Trump fears. I don't know why. I really do not know why. I really do not know why. But that's needless to say, he's scared out of his wits. He is fucking scared. Other than that, why can't he just debate her? Oh, he's too good for things like that. But yet he'll walk up and down and stalk Hillary for like the whole 5 minutes. He'll stalk Joe Biden for a whole 5 minutes. what are we doing? And he'll stalk Kamala for a whole 5 minutes. But you can't debate Jasmine? What? Because Jasmine got them goons. Jasmine definitely got them goons on. I can't wait for that fucking day. And it's crazy that the whole world is mad at you. The whole world is mad at you. The whole world is having meetings about you. That is crazy work. The shit hit the fan yesterday, and I was gonna do a live on it, but there's just too many people. It's just too much. It was just way too much. So I just let it go. Like, whatever. I mean, yeah, talk all day. But until Congress steps up, until the senators step up, Ted Cruz, I don't know much about Ted Cruz. I'm just done with old white guys. I'm just done with them. It's time for the newer generation to stand up. It's time for a new generation of congressmen and congresswomen, presidents to be a little younger, just a little younger. Not a whole lot, but just a little younger. Just making just piss poor decisions and not following up on anything. But you're good on that ICE shit, though. What up? Again, I'm gonna ask this question, and I'm gonna keep answering until I get it in the mail. What happened to my $5,000? Where's my $5,000? Where is it? Where's my $5,000? Come on, Trump. Come on, brother. Where's my $5,000? When I get my keys next week, I want my $5,000 in the mail. Otherwise, I'm coming to Washington. I'm coming to get it. Don't be promising all of these people that we're going to get the oil. We're going to use the oil to get $5,000. Yeah. He ain't going to give shit. He ain't going to give us shit. Vote for Jasmine Crockett for the U.S. Senate. Go to change.org if it's still up. Change.org/swear in Jasmine Crockett for U.S. Senate. Swear in Jasmine Crockett for U.S. Senate. You said keep the 5K. If receiving that money is the proof of my consent, the proof of your consent. I see no one else put in the work. Well, let me ask. Did you ask Biden when he was in office about giving us a check? Did you ask Obama if you could receive like a $5,000 check? I mean, come on, let's be real. Let's be 100% real. He wasn't going to give you no $5,000. How is he going to pay? What is he going to pay it with? How's he going to pay it? Even Eric July, who I rock with, a libertarian, said the same thing. How the hell are you going to pay it off? The tariffs? The oil? You ain't going to pay it off in oil. You're going to put that shit in your pockets. He has freely admitted that. And either he was going to use the tariffs or he was going to use the oil from Venezuela, which is ridiculous. Where are you going to pay it off? How? We're already in debt up the ass. How is he going to pay that off? How is he going to pay the $60+ trillion debt that the United States in? Even though every country is in debt, how is he going to pay that off? Didn't he give us that $600 stimulus? Or was it under Biden? Barb, I forgot. We were given three checks: 600, 1,400, and then 1,200. And I think the fourth one was based upon how many kids you have or something like that. I know we have 4, but I'm just going to concentrate on the 3. We had the $600 one, the $1,400 one, the $1,200 one, and there was another one, and there was something else. They were all under Biden. Were they all under Biden? I had to look that up. And my phone keeps buzzing, by the way, and it keeps bringing up this news cycle of us getting a $2,000 stimulus, a $5,000 stimulus. Where is he going to get the money to give us a $5,000 stimulus? Said Japan. I wish. Japan's gonna do it. Really? Japan's gonna do it. Are you kidding me? Please tell me you're joking. Please tell me you're joking. You can get no damn stimulus check from that fool. He ain't gonna get no. I didn't qualify. Why he ain't qualify? Everybody qualifies. Unless you ain't got no kids. Hey. Maybe it was a big mistake to vote him in office in the first place, because he, after the inauguration, he lied to you. He lied to you. That's what Trump does, is lie. That's all he does, is lie. Saying that he was gonna give you something, but he's never gonna give it to you. And then he's gonna force you to give you some money and saying, well, after you give me this money, then I want you to embark on this deal I want to give you, which has turned sour. And if you don't believe me, you can ask his little rich buddies that are still in, well, some of them are in prison. The rest of them, he's pardoned some of his buddies after the January 6th type shit. You need a podcast. No, because I don't have the temperament for a podcast, because the first person that comes at me wrong, yeah, I'm gonna lose it. Or are you talking about the whole, pick up the phone and dial type podcast? Nah, I ain't doing it. Ask Barb. I don't have the temperament for it. I don't. I barely keep up panels. I barely do YouTube panels anymore, because people are just stupid. People are just stupid. I might ask Reese Waters if he. I might have to ask Reese Waters if he can stop by. I have to ask him if he would like to stop by. And I do want to still speak with old Nathan Daly, because he said it was a righteous shoot. I said it's not. He said it was a righteous shoot. I said he wasn't.
And like I said, he should have definitely paid his respects. Definitely, I don't know if he did or not. Because I couldn't see the full tweet.
Okay, this isn't like a rhetorical or metaphorical question. What I'm about to ask you is a literal question, okay? Why is this enough to stop supporting him?
Because, like I said, I mean, not that you should ever compare or contrast the two issues or weigh one against the other, but what he did for Venezuela and what he did there, I think is just a testament to, how well he can, if he's put in his position to make some tough decisions, how well he can execute those decisions. I don't know what direct impact he had on him. Again, I would like to clarify, I'm not defending what happened with this situation. I don't know what.
Okay. So if he didn't go into Venezuela, then this would be enough for you to stop supporting him. Is that what you're saying?
Borderline, yes. Probably.
Okay.
But again, I'm not weighing the two.
So then if I could convince you that him going into Venezuela was a bad thing, you no longer support Trump as president.
Yeah, but I don't think you can convince me that.
Do you accept that the president is defending a bold-faced execution of an American citizen in broad daylight?
Yeah, I'll meet you in the middle. I'll say yes. Yeah, I think the enforcement officer could have shot somewhere else or anywhere else besides where he did shoot.
I don't think he had a right to shoot at all because he was in imminent threat or danger of bodily harm.
I heard that
Yeah, well, she's gone. There's nothing we can do to bring up. There's nothing that can prevent. Well, we can prevent these things from happening, but we can't bring this woman back. However, we can prevent these things by organizing. That's what we can do. We can prevent these things by way of organizing and getting together, getting rid of all the riffraff, by the way, getting rid of all the riffraff. Riffraff meaning we can agree to disagree. That's fine. But if you're just in it just to do like YouTube shit where you just arguing back and forth all day, time all that out. Secondly, getting the money together. We can't trust each other with $5. That's going to have to stop. So yeah, organizing, getting people to agree with something is going to happen. We're going to have to agree on something. We're going to have to agree with something. Number 2, getting that money together. The money can be for, developing an or putting together an organization and coming up with and plus saving up some money to get people who we can trust to, let's just say, for example, I'm just going to throw a name out there. Susie Lee. Susie Lee, she's a congresswoman for Nevada. If I go to that person, right, and I ask, can you provide Nevadians protection under the law against ICE? She puts it on the piece of paper, forms a coup, and then puts it in the law. Boom. We got the money to provide her for certain resources, and we basically got our own law under the protection of Nevada. ICE can't do shit to us. But it has to be organized. You have to, I'm just giving examples. Let's just start on those. Number 1, you have a problem with getting together with folks. Where's the money? Where's the money coming from, you mean? Where's the money coming from? Who do you think? No, it's coming from my grandmother. Who do you think it's coming from? We can't organize, but minor 200 people because we're just so separated from each other. We have our own tribes. We have our own cults. And let me not get started on the money, but soothingly add a caliph that is counter to our mission. Where do we stand? Either apply to our demands or we just go to somebody else. Point blank period in the discussion. Where's the money coming from? Who do you think? Us. So you can't spare $5, $10? You can't spare $5 or $10, but you can buy a video game. You can't spare $5 or $10, but you can buy shoes. You can spare $5 or $10, but you waste money on useless shit. She has a cabinet. She has a cabinet. What that got to do? I'm lost. Pretend like I'm a 40 Pretend like I'm a 40-year-old. What particular one are you talking about? Remember, I'm new. I'm very new. Like an ulterior motive. I saw my people get. Okay. Again, either apply for our demands, which demands will be met, or we'll just find somebody else. We will find somebody else to represent us. But again, we have to start with the getting together of certain people. We have to start there. Due to the fact that we are so far apart from each other, FBA, Adolfs, Israelites, Hebrews, we're just so far apart with each other. Pan-African, we are so far apart from each other. And it's all due to some, some bad influencers. We gotta put together a strong group of people first. If you don't want your ass whooped, if you don't want to find yourself in a position like that lady from Minnesota, if you don't want to find yourself in that position, you'll do it. Susie Lee is giving us money, but adds we can't march on what, but adds we can't march on Washington. Then I guess Susie Lee ain't for us then. That's what I'm saying. I guess Susie Lee is not for us then. We want somebody that if we want that attention, we'll get that attention. Well, I said that all wrong. If we need to march on Washington just to have our voices heard, then that, my friend, it's no different from what happened back then when Martin Luther King said his speech in Washington. It's no different. It's peaceful. It's peaceful just like the No Kings protests. Just like the No Kings protest. It's no different, except we're not just going out there saying these things and going home. This is going to be an every week thing. this is going to be an every week thing. But it's just like I said before. We're having a hard time organizing bodies. Bodies, him, her, bodies. I like that show. Snowfall. I like that show. I like that show, Snowfall. You got to get the bodies in position before we can talk about anything else. Before we can talk about anything else, put the bodies in position. Well, anyway, I'm gonna keep Jasmine Crockett in my prayers. We need to keep Jasmine Crockett in our prayers, and she will be in that Senate seat soon enough. All right. Let me see. I will catch y'all on Sunday. Peace out.